be good to get out there outside today and get a good practice in.
There's a lot of names, but can you kind of tick through some of the injured guys there?
I would just say in general, looks promising for quite a bit of guys.
Who's not gonna practice?
Today? Lemieux, Azudu, and Adori. Everybody else gonna practice.
What is it about Bellin?
What kind of lift is that for your team to look around and know they're getting that many guys back?
Well, let's see how it goes at practice. We'll go full pads today. We'll do some good hitting, kind of see where guys are at, and take it day by day and get to Friday, and hopefully we'll have some guys back.
What is it about Bellinger that he needs to clear to be able to play? And it's a little different because it's about, I guess, the contact part of it.
Yeah, I would say he's trending in the right direction. So again, we'll see how it goes out there today, but I'm optimistic for Belly.
Coach, obviously I'm not going to ask you word for word, but when they came back to work Monday, what was your general message to the team for this stretch run?
Yeah, really, let's get ready to go for Washington. Got an extra day here to prepare, and let's take each day and make the most of it.
So, Feliciano, do you just plug him back in, or did Nick show you enough where that's a decision you're gonna make?
I'd just say, relative to the guys coming back, there's still a few days here. Let's get through practice today. Let's go to the next day. I don't want to make some split-second decision. I think that's one of the reasons we're going pads is let's work a little bit on the running game, and then let's get some of these guys back and see how they operate, and contact stuff.
Do you have a policy just in general, like you can't lose your job to injury, or is that the type of deal where it opens the door?
Yeah, I wouldn't have one either way. I think we just do what's best for the team.
How did Nick grade out in that game?
He did okay. Yeah, he did okay. Some stuff he can do better, but he did a good job.
Brian, is Shane's situation something that could be long-term here with the...
Don't know that.
Is it the same exact toe?
It's his toe. So I think we're trying to be smart with him. I know he wants to be out here, but we're trying to do right by the player too.
I know you mentioned the Zudo and the neck thing last week not being super serious. Is there anything that's changed on that front regarding the severity there?
No, not too much. Again, just not ready to go for today.
Would you consider John at center and Nick at guard? Is that a...
Yeah, I think we'd consider whatever we think is best. I mean, if we have a bunch of guys out here, we'll roll them in and see how everybody operates.
We're talking a lot about your offensive line. Their defensive line is a rare one with 4 first-round draft pick talents on it. How difficult? What kind of difficult challenge do they pose? What makes them so good?
They're good at the run and the pass. I think that's what I think having strong fronts, both defense and offensively, is kind of where you want to build your football team, and they certainly have done it. I think the last 8 games they've given up 16 points. That's without Chase, so they got some other good players in there. 2 Bama guys inside. I was with Payne for that 1 year. They're Allen's. They're just sweat. I mean, they're challenging on both fronts. They don't give up a lot of points. They haven't given up a lot of points here in the last 8 weeks, or 6 and 7, and I think they play a physical style football. Coach Rivera got a lot of respect for him and how he operates. They're physical on both sides of the ball in the kicking game. That's how you want to, so I think makes a good football team.
I realize you always prefer to focus on the day-to-day and the small picture, but Kayvon yesterday suggested that you relayed a big picture thought about the season starting now. What were you trying to get across to your players with that?
Well, I think December, when you play meaningful games in December, that's why we all do this. You go all the way back to OTAs and to preseason and the beginning part of the season, and now you're in December, and I've been on teams that have played meaningful games in December, and I've been part of teams that haven't, and it's not a lot of fun when you're not playing meaningful games. So let's come to work with a great attitude, a positive mindset, keep getting better, and you focus on the week's opponent. That's how you have to do it, but they're important games now.
When was the last time you went pads, and how does that mean? I guess the objective is to...
We went pads the week before Houston.
Okay. Is the objective to... You just talked about the running game.
Yeah.
To help that running game, and how does that help it?
Yeah, well, I think practicing and the things that you're wearing help. Obviously, we've done a lot of it all the way up till now. You want to make sure you're taking care of the players. They're fresh. They've had a couple days off. So, again, I think this was a good day to do it.
How do you think your team is handling the losing recently?
I think the way they're handling winning, they're consistent. We've all been in this league a long time. It's the last time that you haven't faced adversity will be the first time. You're going to face it. Week 1, week 5, week 10. So the approach is to be consistent, like the message I've tried to give really since I've been here.
Do you want to get Daniel back into the running game more than he has been the last couple of weeks? Is that something that's holding back the whole running game in general?
No, I think there's a bunch of different ways to run a quarterback. So in a lot of ways we'll zone read it, or he'll have a decision to make, and whether that's to give to the running back or keep it, that's some of it. But again, we'll put together the best plan we can and go out there and work at it.
You've obviously worked for a couple of the greatest head coaches ever. When they get to December, have you seen them change their approach with their team in any way, or how are they conducted?
Guys that I've worked for, those two guys are pretty consistent. Again, I think each person runs their team their own way they want to run it. I think being consistent and with your approach, with your process, with your preparation, I think that's the way to do it.
You've talked about breaking up the season, I guess, into quarters.
Yeah, we're
close
last
to
game
there.
of the third quarter.
We're close to there. What makes you think
No, we're
team...
last game of the third quarter.
Okay. What makes you think that your team is ready to peak in these December games when you get to that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'd just say we're trying to get ready to play this week. That's the most important game. It's the fourth game of our third quarter here in the season, and we're going to try to do the best we can to get ready.
Do you think getting results early in the season, winning games early, helps a team stay confident when you go through a stretch like this?
I don't know. I've been part of teams that have lost early and remain confident, that have won early, and it's, to me, the biggest thing as a leader is to remain consistent with your approach, to not get too high or low, to not ride any waves. Again, it's human nature at times, so your job as a leader is to focus on the things you can control, and coach them up.
As you look at Chase Young, obviously Chase Young.
One more time.
Chase Young.
Yep, got it.
He hasn't played this year, obviously. And he might play this week. So, what's your sense of how you guys are preparing, where he might line up? And throughout his career, he's lined up all over. Last year against you guys, you weren't here. He was 50-50 both sides.
Yeah,
so how do you prep for that?
No, look. You never know exactly what you're going to get each week. You're always facing good players. We'll see how many snaps he plays when he gets back. Obviously, he's a dynamic guy. With where he's selected, how he's played. So, all hands on deck.
2 player questions for you. Rodarius, it seemed like he made 2 good plays.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped the pick, and then he stayed with them on the go route.
Yep.
What have you seen from him just coming back? And obviously he missed quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I think he's, the short time he's been back, I think he's improved each day out here at practice. And, again, it's good to see guys, make some plays when they're working hard, and we'll need him to continue to do that.
The other one was Landon. He played, I want to say twice, right after you guys signed him. Haven't elevated him in a while. Is it just hasn't fit in the game plan with other inside linebackers, or what's kind of happened with Landon?
Each week we talk about the roster and, whether it's the defensive scheme, the offensive scheme, what we need. That could change. That changes on a week-to-week basis.
Do you worry about a guy getting frustrated in that spot when he's been up and then is down for 3-4 games?
No, that's not National Football League.
Flott's out of the protocol.
No, he's still in the protocol. Yep.